Hey everyone, hope you're all well. Now, can you believe it? The sun is out, kinda. At least it's t-shirt weather. I can't believe it. I haven't worn a t-shirt out riding for months and months and months, so it feels great. To go with the t-shirt weather, we actually have a dry floor, so I'm out here riding some street on the Hex with the suspension, and now actually for the first time in months and months, maybe a year, I'm riding with someone. I've got Euan, he's coming riding with me today. I'm actually looking forward to doing some socialising. Haven't ridden with a friend for a while, giving these forks a punishment, and we'll see if they cope with a bit of street riding. So obviously I'm riding a Hex at the minute, and you may have noticed Euan is also riding a Hex. Not just any Hex, it's actually my old bike, my old orange one, which is still one of my favourite colours and Spider's ever done, so it's really cool to see it still being used.
Oh, he's videoing himself, man. Oh, are you? Sorry, bro. I'm shouting tricks. Maybe he's got like a YouTube or something. What, you've got 108,000 plus subscribers? What?
So how are the forks holding up with a bit of street? Done some gaps to front, done some fairly front wheel heavy stuff, and yeah, I still really love the feel of them. The only thing is they are developing a little bit of a wobble. It's almost as if the bushings are starting to get a little bit of play in them. And to be fair to Fox, I did message them and they messaged back saying yeah, they really don't recommend these forks for the style of riding I'm doing. So yeah, I don't encourage you to go out and try some of these forks yourselves. I really don't know how long they're going to last. But as an experiment to try short travel on a Hex, I really do like how they feel. I do think some burlier forks would be handy, especially with the twisting forces that are going on. a 20mm bolt through thicker tubes would definitely help with a bit of stiffness. Anyway, we've done some nibbly jibby stuff on here. I think we need to go and try some bigger moves. Let's do it. Now there's a hop up to rail here which I've done way back on my arcade, one of my early vlogs. I don't actually know if I can jump up this high on the hex with the suspension. It's been a long time, it's been months since I've done any big hops. Will the suspension hurt or hinder? So I'm going to try, get up this rail and gap across the other side, see if I can do it. And try not to get run over at the same time. Took a couple attempts to get up, but that's power of the course. But yeah, flew up in the end. Suspension didn't hinder that at all. So next challenge is to get up this box here. Now this is a good day box. That means I tend to only get up this on good days. Let's see if today is a good day. It feels like a good day. And yeah, I'm going to try get up this up to front, maybe up to back, see how we feel. It took me a while, but I did get up it. Now, I don't think it took so long because I had suspension. It took me a while because I had to ride through a wet patch of dirt just before going up to it, so my front tyre was actually skidding quite often. Once I managed to get over that, I actually flew up there. Suspension, I didn't think hindered me at all. By the way guys, we've got plug time. The Huckett frame protectors are out now. And actually, they're going to be available at Tarty Bikes as well. So you have choices. You can either go to the Huckett website, pick it up there, or wait until they're in stock at Tarty Bikes and get one from there. It's been a while since we've been here, but you and I have decided to come over to the Anderston estate. It's been just too wet, too icy these last few months, so it's nice to come back and yeah, put these forks through their paces here. Okay, so here's the thing. I mentioned that the fork bushings were feeling a little bit sloppy and there was some knocking. It's not the bushings at all, it's actually just my loose headset. Now I've got this inspired headlock on. It's not designed for this fork, this length steel tube, so I've had to cut it down, put some of my own bolts in, and yeah, they're bottoming out, so I can't actually tighten the headset any more than it is. So there's a bit of wobble going on, which is a bit annoying, but at least it's not the forks. So yeah, that's a good thing. By the way guys, if you're wondering what all this squeaking is going on, it's not the forks, it's actually my back brake. I've got some real high performance pads from Tratec, and they're insanely powerful, but they also make a bit of a noise, so a bit of a trade-off. Back brake's like a clamp, bit noisy. When I first showed these forks, a few people were like, they're definitely gonna break on big drops. So, got ourselves a big drop here. Now, I'm hoping, I've got my fingers crossed here, that actually big drops will be okay, because that's just gonna be directly down through the fork, which is probably gonna be their strongest direction. It's more flexing it forwards and backwards that I think will snap it. So we're gonna send this drop in the wind and hopefully not break it or myself. So there we go guys, these forks can cope with the big drops, and to be honest with you, I would have been surprised if they broke on that. They're actually being pushed in their strongest direction rather than fore and aft, so yeah, they're strong enough for a few big drops at least. Right, after some thought, I finally have a line. Let's see if I can do it. Well, I've just been trying that line for over an hour. Don't know how many attempts that was, at least 100, probably more. I honestly tried so hard to get it better than that, get that fakie nose roll a lot smoother, but I just suck at them. Oh, that was hard work. But I tell you what, after 100 attempts and more of just putting all my weight on those forks, going to front wheel like that, they're great. They're not breaking. So yeah, despite being the lightest suspension that Fox do and some of the lightest suspension you can buy, holding up absolutely fine, unlike me. So one of the things I've wanted to do to test these forks is do a hook. Now Glasgow doesn't have that many, but we do have one here, and it's not an easy one. It's actually pretty narrow and it's got a bit of a lip at the top, but I don't know, I'm going to try and warm up and see if I can do it. This will be a test of the forks for sure. Okay, completely landed front wheel first against the edge then, but my wrists still feel intact. That is the worst thing with hooks, when you just ram your front wheel into it. So scary, but yeah, suspension definitely helps with that. I'm definitely struggling with this though. Well, that hook took me plenty of tries. I'm definitely feeling a little bit rusty after this winter, but doing it multiple times has been an absolute punishing test on these forks, but they've held up absolutely perfectly. No flex, no breaking, no creaking, and yeah, they're still straight as far as I can tell. And even just from the feel, they didn't really feel any different from a rigid fork. Other than my lack of skill, when I eventually got it, it flew up, so it was lovely. We did attempt another angle, but to be honest with you, the light is getting too bad for me now. I'm exhausted, so we're going to call it there. So I really hope you enjoyed this one. Massive thanks to Euan for filming some second angles there. Cheers, my man. And yeah, the usual plugs now. If you want to see longer videos, head over to my Patreon where I released them earlier. If you want to buy some merch, head over to addyclarkson.com, or if you just want to support me without any obligation, I've got a PayPal link down in my description. So hit me up on any of those if you fancy. They really, honestly, they do really help this channel exist. And while I'm plugging stuff, don't forget my signature Hookit frame protectors and mudguards are out. Go pick yourself up some, and if you do, tag me with them fitted to your bike. I'd love to see it. But yeah, that's enough from me, enough from Euan. Have an amazing week, and I'll catch you next time. So take care, everyone. Bye bye. So as usual at the end of the video, I've got the list of all my patrons. So every one of these names here is a member. They get their name at the end of the video, and yeah, they really do make my channel exist. So an absolutely huge thanks goes out to all of these guys. In the next few months, I do want to actually add to my Patreon as well. I want to do some Patreon only merch. I want to add some extra tiers. So if you are considering it, yeah, please do. It really does help this channel. Cheers. Bye-bye.